Hello everyone and welcome to the very first vlog here at Helping Surf. Well, I say it's the first vlog, it's not the first vlog really, is it? Because those of you who've been long-time viewers of the channel, you'll realise that we have done loads of vlogs in the past. However, this is the first official one that I'm declaring as official because I'm actually putting a little bit of effort in. I'm using the proper setup, I'm using the proper camera. However, unfortunately, we do have a little bit of a problem today. The sun is against us, as you can see. We've got a beautiful, majestic sun there in the background. Lovely backdrop. Lovely location we're at today. We've come to a place called Saltwell Park. Ducks over there singing and dancing and doing whatever ducks do, and swans. I think I heard a swan. But anyway, I thought because this is the very first video, why don't we start this series with something very controversial? And I'm known for my controversy. Fun fact to a lot of you who don't know me, I've had some very, very big schools recently, very big schools, who've independently messaged me and asked me not to expose their practices. Now, that's how controversial I am, and fun fact, I will highlight them anyway. But it's good to see that the message is getting far and wide across this earth plane, and people are starting to wake up to the fact that you have all been suppressed for the entirety of your being. You have been told that mediums have gifts. Gifts? No. Extrasensory perceptions? 100%. You all have the ability to become great mediums. And here at Helping Surf, we are the ones who are going to give you the very tools to nurture your extrasensory abilities so that you can become a medium if you wish. If you're new to the channel, my name is Psychic Medium Jordan Coburn, and I can prove with evidence, my friends, of the afterlife. I've helped thousands of people on this earth plane to once again be able to reach out and contact their loved ones in spirit from the understandings and the teachings. And now it's your turn. Each and every one of you can become great mediums. And here at Helping Surf, we can give you the very foundations to forge your own unique understanding. Not to mention, we have the loving and supporting Helping Surf family. Unfortunately, right, it's like, you know, one of them things, there'll be a lot of people who are watching going, well, Jordan, why are you complaining it's sunny? Because the lens that I've got on my camera, right, it's designed for the sun. But when you're going into locations where there's trees and you've got all of these different things, it's going to make us look dark. It's like, literally, I'm not even going to be bothered about it. Well, I mean, it would be a little bit of a shame to not show you the beautiful location. Whilst it is going to be quite difficult for us to be able to do, why don't we have a little look at where we come? I'm going to put some music on, listen to the music, and, you know, enjoy. Hello. Oh, how cute are you? How cute are you? Oh, look how cute you are. I want one. Hi, Bobby. Can you see Help You Surf? No? No, you're not quite there yet. You want a little mediumship? Got you talking to spirit parrots. Oh, sorry. I called you Bobby, didn't I? Maggie? Can you see Helping Surf? I guess that's a no. Hello, you. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Wow, look at them feathers. Wow, that's awesome. Can you make them go up forward? Bloody hell, that's mental, that. So why don't we kick off this with the terminology gift. Yous have all heard it, yous have all seen it thrown around, Barbara at the spiritualist community, or Jean, Frank. I always come back to the Frank. But you would have always heard these people who use this sort of terminology. So ask yourself the question, why is it that you believe that people will use the terminology gift in mediumship? Is it A, because they are deluded and they believe they have had gifts bestowed upon them? Or do you think it's B, that because they use the terminology gift, that is then going to stop you from believing you have those very same gifts? Well, if you chose B, you would be 100% completely correct, my friend. You've probably seen people using this terminology and you've just despised it. This is just an instant bitter taste when you hear those words being said. And that is your intuition telling you. That is the spirit world saying, look, listen, don't listen to this fool. This fool is being egotistically driven. You don't want to be like that person. Unfortunately, there are many of people on this earth plane who fall victim to it and also spout it out. I've had to come and sit down because unfortunately we've come out to do a vlog, and literally everywhere I go, it's either too sunny, there's people walking all over, which I can't complain about. The idea for the vlogs is we're going to go all over. We're going to literally go all over the place. But the problem is obviously depending on like the lighting, when it's really super sunny like this, I've got to try and find somewhere to kind of knuckle down so we can get the video done, because I've been walking around this place and it's been an absolute nightmare trying to find somewhere where I can actually record a video, because I wanted to walk around and obviously vlog it in terms of walking and talking, because I love walking and talking. I can talk for fun. The problem is just there isn't enough places with light in here. We've mentioned the word and terminology gift, then we've also mentioned why you need to not use that at all. I can prove with evidence of the afterlife, and you can too. But what you've got to remember is you've got to remember that you have the abilities to be able to do this. Step away from the BS of mankind. Step away from these ludicrous notions that have been put on the planet to suppress you. The word and terminology gift, forget it. It needs eradicated from the face of the earth, in my opinion, when it comes to mediumship. The next thing we're going to mention is the awakening. A lot of people, right, there's a lot of people on this planet who are going to sell you this idea, this ideology that an awakening is going to be the key that you are looking for to connecting with the spirit world. The simple reality of it is, an awakening is none other than you becoming aware of energy. Now, your extrasensory perceptions are what the spirit world use. Therefore, you don't need to be aware of energy to be able to communicate. And a lot of people will not understand that. And when you understand the basic mechanics of extrasensory perceptions and the human being, don't get this wrong and don't get this twisted. If you are aware of energy, it's going to be a lot simpler for you. But that doesn't mean to say that you have to go through an awakening before that you can connect to the spirit world. Because this, my friend, is, unfortunately, this is a misconception that is being shared upon planet Earth. And it's something that, unfortunately, it holds a lot of people back, because what you don't realise is an awakening is an awakening. That's literally, it's boring. Honestly, and I know there's going to be a lot of you who hate me saying this, right? Because, again, I don't follow mainstream teachings. I don't need to. I have my own understandings. And, you know, when you've got schools messaging you, asking you not to highlight certain topics of mediumship, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder how rotten to the core mediumship actually is, doesn't it? And for any of you who are wondering, am I going to highlight them and show them? I'm not going to. I'll highlight the processes and I'll highlight the things that they do as and when I choose with the spirit world. But they aren't even a blip on my radar. You know, I'm not here to make a show. I'm not here for the entertainment. I'm here for each and every one of you to be able to learn. But coming back to the grand awakening, don't get caught up in it. If you want to become a medium, right, all you literally have to do to become a medium is put time, effort, commitment and willpower aside. If you have those, then you're already halfway there. Try not to get lost in the diluted notions of mankind. The problem with that is that's why we're on the year 2025 and mankind still don't know how to connect to the spirit world. They don't even believe that they're there. You have a lot of, you know, ignorant people on this planet who have paranormal experiences. They have experiences with the spirit world, and yeah, because they are scared to speak out, they are scared to tell their stories. You know, they suppress it to the back of the mind. Don't be that one person. Enjoy it, embrace it, because that's what it's there for. The next thing that we're going to cover, and I think it's important for us to cover this, is this journey is your journey and your journey alone. Whilst yes, you have the channel, yes, you have all of the practices on this platform, you have all of the teachings, you even have the help, heal, serve, love and support and community. But by no stretch of the imagination should this journey be anyone else's but yours. A lot of people come to mediumship, right, and you are looking for answers, and I get it, right? You're looking for clarity, you're looking for, and you've probably been conditioned by mankind in social media, so you've not seen clarity, you've not seen direction. But anyway, you turn to mediumship because you think it could be an answer, it could be a solution to the problem, the enigma that you face. You want to contact your loved ones in spirit. That's great. Mediumship's there for that. But don't come into mediumship thinking that everyone's your friend. Believe me when I say this, everyone is not your friend. Don't be stupid. Why would everyone be your friend? Why would everyone? Put it this way, right? People who don't know you. Now, me as a person, I can only speak from myself and I can speak from experiences. I can tell you what I like to do. It is my passion, it's everything to help the spirit world. I love making content to help each and every person. That being said, is that the ethos of every person on this planet? Of course it's not. Don't be stupid. Just because people put the word medium or psychic or spiritual tutor or anything in before their name, it doesn't mean to say that they're there to help you. And that's a mindset that you have to change, because unfortunately that's not their problem. That's a you problem. Mediumship will be able to give you the answers that you seek. However, you've got to remember in the first instance, this journey is meant to be a difficult one. In the first instance, it's meant to be difficult. It's nothing in this life that is worth anything comes to you easy, does it? If you look back through the entirety of your life journey to where you are currently now watching this video, remember to smash that like button if you are enjoying this. But nothing's come to you easy, so why would mediumship be any different? It's absolutely lovely out here today, to be fair. I'm looking forward to doing some more vlogs outdoors. The unfortunate thing is the location that we've come today, it's one of those where it's absolutely beautiful listening to the birds and that, innit? Little birds tweeting away, help, heal, serve. Can you hear them tweeting help, heal, serve? Help, heal, serve, help, heal, serve. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more vlogs like this. The only problem is though, we're going to have to really think about where we're going to do the vlogs, because I thought I could have just turned up and just recorded. The problem is with that is never ever going to work. Spirit are laughing. They knew it wasn't going to work. They told us not to. I've actually been to the gym this morning as well. Been at the gym this morning, getting everything sorted. But yeah, back on track. I know a lot of you, right, will look at other people. And this is one of the biggest things. We've got loads of videos tackling this topic, but there's loads of you who are going to look at other people and want what they have. Stop it. That's not going to get you far in this life, and it's certainly not going to get you far in mediumship. There's going to be a lot of you who look at the work that I do and you want to be an authentic medium, you want these understandings. Well listen, you can have these understandings, but I beg you, don't want to be like me. You will never be me, you will never be like me. We are very, very different in everything about us. The life journey that we've come through, the understandings, the practices, the energies that we work with, we are different. You have to aim to be the best version of yourself. That is where you should be comfortable, not at what Tim has, what Jason has, or what Maxine has. You don't want those things. You need to aim for better. You need to strive to be the best version of yourself. Remember, every person on this planet has something to give. Whilst a lot of you might not know what you have to give, you might not even know what your life purpose is. I'm fortunate in the respect of I'm 34-year-old, and I've seen the spirit world for the entirety of my life. To me, it's not a case of were the spirit world there, it was a case of how am I going to be able to help them at some point. Not going to lie to you, a little bit freaked out at the beginning. I didn't want any part of this. I didn't want anything. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be working with the spirit world and the realms in the way that I do, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, no way, Jose. That is not for me. That's not. I don't want that, the paranormal activity happening. I don't want all of this happening. But I think that's one thing that brings into a good point, Spirit mentioning. What you feel you want and what you think you need is not necessarily how your life is going to plan out. And this is why we mentioned with mediumship, right? A lot of you want to be like someone else. A lot of you don't want to be unique. You just want to conform. You want to just fit in. You want to be accepted for what your beliefs are. But the problem is by fitting in and by following into that unfortunately slippery downhill slope, you don't become the best version of yourself. And you might want to become a medium. You might become a medium. And if you put the hard work in and watch the videos on this channel, my friend, there's no ifs or buts about it. You're going to become a medium. But that's not where your story ends. That's where your story begins. And just like for myself, seeing the spirit world for the entirety of my life and then getting all the way through my life and not really wanting, whilst I had seen the spirit world, I hadn't actually wanted to take part, and I didn't, listen, that wasn't the life for me. However, look where I am now, look what I'm doing now. That's how quick your life can change. That's how quick your life, so this is why you need to be an authentic representation of you. You need to chase your dreams. You need to do what you want. Don't just think of mediumship as the end goal. It's like a driving test. It's like I say this all of the time, right? It's like for people who are currently now learning how to drive here in the United Kingdom, you take what are called driving tests. You do your theories and that, but when you do your driving test, automatically people assume that because you've done your driving test and you've passed, that is now you were a driver. No, my friend, that is just you now legally allowed to start learning. The second you get behind the wheel and you start driving on your own and you start having different, you're making mistakes and you start learning from those mistakes, hopefully not fatal mistakes, but this is when you start to learn. This is the same as mediumship. When you get the understandings, that doesn't mean to say that's your journey ended. That is the start of your mediumship development. This is this is what I think a lot of people get so mixed up with this, right? People think once you start to connect to the spirit world, that's it, that you're just a medium then. No, that's when the fun starts, yes. But believe me, if you think for 1 minute that all a medium has to offer is just insights from the spirit world, honestly, mediumship is a process. It's beautiful, it's majestical, it's everything and more than what you would want it to be. And the insights are good, don't get us wrong, but being part of something much more than you could ever imagine is even more. You become part of the energy, you become part of the parcel. You know what your purpose is. Getting back to the part I was trying to mention, I'm 34 years old and I know my purpose. There's a lot of people who watch these videos who you might not even know what your purpose is. You might not know where your life is taking you, where your life is leading you. That's all right. When you embark on the mediumship journey and you start to work alongside of energy, you find out very, very quick what your purpose is. Because a lot of you will be, a lot of you who come to mediumship, you are natural empaths. I mean, everyone's an empath, but you are natural at it. And what I mean by natural at it is you use your empathic abilities. You are there to help mankind. A lot of you who find mediumship will say, oh, I just want to help people. I just want to help people. I just can't wait to help people. And this is your empathic ability speaking for you. However, unfortunately, sometimes you will find people who fall into mediumship and they haven't got any want, need or desire within them at all to help mankind. All they're interested in doing is making a little bit of money fast and either terrifying a living or being content and happy with not giving evidence, not giving any sort of sustenance to the message of mediumship. Unfortunately, you're going to come across these people, and it's down to you as a person to identify, to listen to your intuition when these people enter your world. Because fun fact, right, there's going to be a lot of you wondering, well, hang on a minute, why doesn't the spirit world stop these people? Why should they? You are all here to live your life. You are all here to go through the tribulations of life. You are going to make good choices, you're going to make bad choices. Why should the spirit world intervene? At the end of the day, the spirit world aren't there to intervene. Mankind on this planet are here to learn, to evolve, spiritually grow. Therefore, through that process and that mechanism, you have the right to free will. Your right to free will is you will make the choices that you want to make. The spirit world, don't get us wrong, right? The spirit world do, behind the scenes, do little things. It's like they'll show me videos and they'll say, look at this, John. And I'll be laughing and I'll be like, I know I shouldn't be laughing, but why do people think this is acceptable? How is it that people believe this is mediumship? And spirit are like, well, it's because the way that they've been taught. It's no different. And sometimes spirit are like, Jordan, you shouldn't really be laughing at this. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but to me, it's ludicrous that people can actually have that within them. To me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do things to help and benefit mankind. I find it very difficult within my logic that people would want to scam others. Like, I find it really difficult. Like, to me, it's not even a part that I would ever entertain. So it's fascinating to me when I actually see some of the practices that mankind follow, and some of the ethoses that individuals have on this earth plane. It's mesmerising, it really is. You've only got to go on to likes of TikTok to see it. You don't have to even go far. Literally, right, if you finish this video, I love YouTube. YouTube's like my little baby. I love YouTube. YouTube's so efficient, it's so professional. You don't get scammers, many scammers, I should say, on YouTube, because the second YouTube detect it, then they eradicate it. That's why you don't see any of these pop-up little £15 readings or £10 or £5 mini reads on YouTube. They wouldn't tolerate it, and that's why I love YouTube. After this video, go and watch TikTok, go and watch Facebook, go and watch Instagram. And mark my words, you will see very, very quick, very, very fast, some of these unethical practices taking place. For those of you who aren't familiar, go and check out the video that we have on hedge words. Hedge words, for those of you who don't know, are non-committal statements where it can be if, or but, maybe, possibility. Listen, when you go for a reading with the spirit world, if you are working with an authentic medium, you are going to get clarity, direction and purpose. That's all it ever is. That's all it ever should be. And this is what you should start looking out for. If you are watching someone and they're saying, sorry, the energy comes through quite strong there. If you're watching somebody and somebody says, do you have a lady in spirit? Well, I mean, let's be completely honest, right? Depending on the sitter, depending on the person who's come for the reading. If the person who's come for a reading is about 60-year-old, the chances are very highly likely they are going to have a female in spirit. And then when they say, oh no, it's so sorry, do you have a male in spirit? Well, I mean, that's a 50-50 chance, isn't it? They're going to have a male or a female end of, whether that be through a family member, through a friend. The chances are they are going to. It would be a shock, horror, if they said they didn't have either. Like, seriously, at that age of their life, they've got to know somebody who is in spirit, whether that be through family, friends, lover, etc., etc. So it would be a very hedge statement, wouldn't it, to be asked. However, that being said, if the medium says, I've got a female in spirit, she tells me her name is Alice. Alice also tells me she passed over at the age of 58. She actually tells me this to tell you. She said that your nickname was Frank, or whatever. You know, I suppose Alice wouldn't be called Frank, but you get what I'm trying to say with that. That there is evidence in those moments, that there is statements that are backed up with evidence. Now, this is what you should be looking for. You shouldn't be looking for hedge statements, people who are just dibbling their foot and cold reading you. Because unfortunately, whilst a lot of you might not believe it, you might be completely new to this channel, but if you have a look at the content on this platform, you will see that this happens. This is why I've recently had lots of different, I've had lots of different messages actually, but for some of the most fascinating ones to me were these big schools. And I'm not going to name them, asking us to stop what I'm doing. Stop what I'm doing. And politely, they're not like saying, look, Jordan, like we don't want you, begging me to not highlight some of the unethical practices. Reiki. Each and every one of you have been conditioned to believe that Reiki is this magical thing where you are going to go through different emotions. I had somebody in the comment section, and I don't mean any offence, so please don't take any offence by this, but I had somebody in the comments who told me that their mediumship begun once they had Reiki. I'm sorry, that's not the way that this works. You've got to understand your extrasensory perceptions are always in an elevated state. However, it is your awareness that is going to bring you to those extrasensory perceptions. When it comes to Reiki, Reiki is none other than mankind's veil. It's mankind's veil of mystique. Reiki is going to give you these powers. It's going to give you the grand awakening. It's going to give you, you've got these Reiki listen, I don't mean any offence to any of you who've been suckered into this in your Reiki Master Class 2 391s. But unfortunately, you hadn't found my channel before you took those courses. So I don't mean any offence. Listen, it's probably give you a little bit of intrigue into spirit or a bit of awareness into something different. But don't be deluded to any one of you and think that because you have done Reiki or you are a Reiki practitioner, this gives you the ability to communicate with spirits. It doesn't at all. It's completely the polar opposites. You have Reiki, which is a man-made concept. This man-made concept is going to tell you that your energy ley lines, your chakra system, which flows through your body, is going to be blocked. First of all, that's the biggest boo-boo that they make in those moments. Your chakras do not get blocked. They cannot be blocked. They are energy ley lines that run through the human form. Whilst mankind will tell you that you have blockages and hang on, let me just go into the chase. Why do you think it is that mankind will tell you you have blockages? Why do you think mankind will use the power of suggestion? Tell you the reason why. Because it's non-provable. They tell you that you come to me, for example, you've come to me today for this video. And you come to me and you're suffering from headaches. And me being the person I am, I'll say go to the doctors. However, you will have other people that will say, yes, I'm getting messages, that is your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is in non-alignment. You've got a blockage there. I can sense the blockage. You give us some money, what I'll do is I'll take that blockage away. And what you don't realise is in those moments is the power of suggestion has been planted firmly. You now believe that there is a blockage, and you also now believe that if you pay to remove this blockage, that blockage is going to be removed. In the normal circumstance, you are going to pay that money, and guess what? Guess what's going to happen? All of a sudden, all of your abilities are coming into light. It's got nothing to do with being able to connect with the spirit world. You could argue, right, and say Reiki in one way is technically working alongside of energy within the human form. Therefore, it's going to bring awareness to some extrasensory perceptions. But that's not because it's activating them. That's not because of anything other than you as a person, being the key, you as a person, you have started working on yourself. It's got nothing to do with Reiki. Because either way, you would have started using these abilities anyway. I know I come in hard, and this is one of the things that I got asked not to speak about. Reiki, stop it. Stop making it more complicated than it has to be. If you want to become a medium, get rid of all of the spiritual stuff that mankind have made, because that is the reason why mankind come up with these schemes. They come up with these schemes that they can sell you. It's basic business. It's basic business, right? You've got a problem. I'm going to offer you a solution. That solution is going to be feeding you information. Now, in a mediumship sense, that solution is evidence. That can't just be regurgitated to you. That can't be, well, for myself it can't be. I don't know about many other people on this planet. But for myself, I pride myself on my ability to prove with evidence of the afterlife. I scream it from the rooftops because I can prove it. However, that's not going to be the same for everyone on the planet, is it? I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks that you are all going to face, each and every one of you are going to face, is mankind have put that many different blocks in place. In fact, actually, I'll tell you what, Spirit asking us to address this. Religion. My thoughts, my views, my personal opinions on religion. I think religion is good for some people. I think some people need to feel part of a community, part of a group. So religion, in some cases, for some people, is a good thing. However, in mediumship, religion is not a good thing. And before you slate us in the comments, let us just tell you the reason why it's not a good thing. Because I have hundreds of people who come to me who are seeing the spirit world using the ability of clairvoyance, who are sensing the spirit world using clair empathy, clair sentience, some cases claircognizance. And they've been forced to believe that they aren't having these interactions with the spirit world. Their religion does not allow them to. Their religion tells them that this should not be happening. I'll give you a little bit of a funny story before I come back into this. I once, well, you just know what I'm like. I went to a massive church in Newcastle upon Tyne. Big cathedral in Newcastle. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to name and shame it, but I went to this cathedral and stood at the door was, it must have been a priest, father, whatever you call them, don't really care. But he stood there with his little white lapel on. And I says, all right. I says, do you believe in spirits? And he was like, no, why would I believe in them? I says, well, the Holy Spirit. Isn't, oh yes, I believe in the Holy Spirit. I says, okay, so you believe technically in spirits. It's like, well, it depends what you mean by spirits. I says, well, energy. It's like, no, we aren't allowed to believe in that. We don't believe in that. I say, all right. I says, well, can I come and do a paranormal investigation in this cathedral and prove to you that there's energy here? And the look that I got was absolutely hilarious. I wish I had it on my phone, to be honest, because it would have made really good entertainment. But the complete look of disgust, the complete look of the confusion, the fact that there's something out of the remits of what he's been conditioned to believe. Yet they believe in the Holy Spirit, they believe in all of these different things to do with spirit, but yet they can't believe in such things as spirits, because there's only specific people who can communicate with them. Well, that's bollocks, absolute bollocks. Anyway, as you can tell, that interaction went down a bit like a lead balloon, but it shows you the arrogance of some people. They are taught to believe certain specific things and they can't deviate away from that plan. Now, coming back to individuals who come to me, I have people who are having paranormal experiences. I have people who are having interactions where they've seen their loved ones. I've had loads of different stories. I'm not going to bore you with them all. And it all leads down to religion. Now, this isn't just Catholicism. Don't think this is just Catholicism. I'm talking about every religion out there. Think of what religion is there to do. It is there to control and to divide. It is to give you different ethoses and understandings. Don't get us wrong, right? If we go back to little caveman times. Hello. Oh, hello. Got a little guest. Hello. You right? Little guest, little doggy coming on camera. So if we go back to caveman times, yeah? And whilst that is a bit of an extreme version because I've got different theories, but let's just go back to caveman versions. I'm not going to tell you my version of events of how we're here. We'll go back to caveman times. It would be good, one could argue, it would be good to have some sort of guidelines to follow. Let's be honest. And to me, that's originally what it all stemmed from. It was a basic premise and an understanding of how you should conduct yourself and how you should, be in those times. Sorry everyone, we've dropped loads of light there. Oh, we're coming back up now. Yes, I believe that there should have probably been some sort of organisation, and this is probably where you find things like the Bible stemmed from and all these different things. But one of the things before anyone gets triggered, now I'm not just targeting Catholicism or the Bible at all. I don't agree with any of them. Anything that has been touched by the fingers of man or the ideologies of man are not of energy. They can't be of God. They can't be. They have been doctorated by the fingers of man, the greasy little grubby fingers of man who will put whatever they want into literature to make you follow it, to suppress you as a human being. So I, as a person, can't follow those practices. But let's just go to the Bible, for example. How many times has that been rewritten? It started with a couple of little guidelines, let's just think of it like bullet points. It started with a couple of bullet points. Look where it is now. How many times it's changed? How many people? And again, coming into it, I've got nothing against you following religion, but don't come into mediumship and try to be following a religion. The only religion you should follow is your own religion, and that religion is getting you to where you need to be, giving you the motivation, the encouragement, the determination and willpower to make the greatest success of your life, to become the best version of yourself. That is the only thing that you should be religious on. Anyway, I think what we're going to do, we're going to bring this video to an end. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.